Today's video, we're going to be discussing how my client has dropped 20 kg in 12 weeks, going from 35 to 20% body fat. We're going to explain the journey so far. I wanted to give a massive shout out for him for the work he's done here. Really, really good stuff, and there's a lot we can take from it. I'm going to break this video down into three sections. Well, two really. One is the actual tactics that we've done so far. So I'm going to show you how we set him up, why we took an aggressive approach, what changes we've made since over the course of 12 weeks, and then I'm going to give you what he has personally done well, that's personal to him and the way he's approached this, because everyone could take a leaf out of this man's book to achieve what he's done so far. And I call it the journey so far because we will not rest until this guy has a six-pack across his midsection, because this is the way he is working and moving towards. So very, very exciting stuff. So I'll explain how we're also approaching the next steps of the journey. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tom Sergi. I run the Gorilla Platoon, which is an online physique transformation program where we get results like this. We're on 22 for the year and the goal is 50. So let's go. Topic for today's video, as you know, how to lose 20 kg in 12 weeks. And I guess more just an explanation of what we did and how we got the result, rather than do what I say type of video. So the tactics to start with. We opted for a more aggressive approach during the start position. When someone's 35% body fat, and I know, and this may actually sound contradicting to what I've said in the past, I always do say keep food as high as you can for as long as you can. And for the majority of people, that is correct. But if you're 35% body fat, you sit in a bit of a unique category where actually you don't need that much food. Because think about it, you've got 35% of body fat. That's, you know what I mean? That's like, you've got 25% there of stores to be eaten into. You really, and your RMR will be pretty low at this point anyway. So like, you're not going to be in a dangerous position if you start on lower food. You just physically don't need as much. On top of this guy is role at work is not massively active either, so we wanted to take that into consideration. So we're going to explain the start. We'll go through the start setup first, just in case you want to know how we set up. So to begin with, we wanted to know his scale weight, which was sat at 99 and 35% body fat, which for context looks in and around this region, okay? Obviously, it's going to look slightly different on every human being, and it is an estimate at best. So from there, we know his lean mass is 64, and his resting metabolic rate is 1,760, so not massively high. From there, we want to assess activity level. If you're the average level of activity, you're going to be at 155. If you're a little bit more desk-bound, not move around as much, 135. If you're really active, you're going to be in a 175. So this guy's maintenance, RMR times by activity, is sat at pretty much, you can call it 2,400. Now for him, I didn't go massively aggressive. I could have gone bigger. I only went at 0.5%, which came in at around 550 calories. Realistically, if I wanted to, I could have probably took this as close to RMR as possible and shaved off best part of another 100 calories here, more than 100 calories. And bearing in mind, every 100 calories you move at this business end means a lot more. If you're on 3,000 calories, you move 100, it's not the same as someone that's at 1,800. You would need to move more like 200 in your case. So we've got a lot of room to play with, and just understand when someone's 35% body fat, you can operate as close to RMR as possible. I've worked with a fair amount of people that have been like really overweight, and it's worked an absolute treat to sit at this point. And here's some like evidence that we're going to show you in this video of why it works to go like this. Now we've still got room to play with, we've still got numbers to drive down, and we will drive them down as you go through. There will become points where you still need to drop off the food. Now, for context, and I'll also come onto this in a second, when someone is that in 35% body fat, to get to 10, it's going to take a fair amount of weeks. And you are more than likely, this is a rare case where he's just absolutely blitzed it and it's just melted off him. But in a normal case, you're going to need to implement a diet break for a period of time during that fat loss transition. And why I say that with context to this is, normally I say keep food as high as you can for as long as you can. But if you're going to implement a diet break, you can be aggressive to the diet break, knowing you're going to bring food back up slightly, square the metabolism away, get yourself to just below 20% from 35, then look to approach it from a more tactful standpoint, how you would have seen a lot of my other videos, where you don't need to go as aggressive and your deficit doesn't need to be as great, and you will just pull from there and keep your metabolism in a healthy position. So that's something to consider when actually doing this style of transformation. This is unique. When you're going from 35, you're in a different category to everybody else, because at that point it's like you are considerably overweight. Like, no offense, but let's be honest, you know that anyway. So this was a setup we are adopted for, and actually we're able to rinse a lot of this out for a long period of time. Over the 12 weeks, we only actually had to make 4 changes to the plan, in which we made 2 for dieting, where we dropped 120 calories and then 100 calories. And we also increased to 20 minutes cardio and then 30 minutes of cardio daily. So right now he's sat on 220, 220 minus the start point. So pretty much 16, which is just below RMR. And then he's also on 30 minutes of cardio daily. And this has allowed the weight to absolutely just melt off at a bigger rate of more than 1 kilo per week. And remember, in the beginning, especially if you're 35% body fat, you can lose 3 kilo, 2 kilo a week and not really think that much of it. If you go from 20% down to 10%, you're losing 3 kilo. Deficit might be a little bit too aggressive. You might run the risk of losing tissue. But when you're going from 35, it's really is no stress. That stuff will fall off you in the beginning. A lot of it will be excess water. A lot of it will be excess like glycogen. Inflammation reduced as well massively when you go into a deficit like that. So you can expect to see it absolutely peel away from you in the beginning. And that's what we've seen here in the greatest of cases when things are really dialed in and approached. So what's the approach going forward? Well, we're going to continue working as is, because the rate has still been dropping very sweet for the longest period of time. Now, I would say any more than 20 weeks of dieting, you're looking for a diet break. So I think at this point with this guy here, if we're sat in and around the space of 20%, and we're going to want to get him down to around 8 to 10, there's still another 10 kg or so to come off the frame from here. And from there, we may, which would in theory should take us into around the 22, 24 week space. We might get away with not needing to put the diet break in, but you're always going to be... The thing is with body recomposition and losing body fat, you can't be too proactive. You need to do the thing, get the data, assess the data, and make the decision. You have to, in a weird way, it shouldn't sound right, you have to be reactive, which is not always, like, that sounds wrong to do, but actually in the space of dropping body fat, you can outline a skeleton, but you're going to have to be reactive to what the response the body gets and what the data then shows. Because when you first start, you need to understand and listen to your body anyway. And once you understand how your body responds to diet, into training, stimulus, then you can adapt the plan from there. And you want to be just a bit more tactful with that. So for this guy, we will continue to rinse this out. We may not need a full diet break, but we will start to implement like refeed days and then deload weeks as well with training stimulus. At the minute, we'll be going for 12 weeks, but was initially very detrained anyway, so we can rinse this out for a long period of time before needing to do so. So that's the plan going forward. You'll see a end product of this maybe in another, let's not rush it, it'll be done when it's done, 12 weeks, 14 weeks, and you'll see the end product of this. But what I'm going to give you now is, you've seen the tactics, let me go into what he has done so well. He has the mindset of nothing is too much work and nothing a problem. I asked him to do so, it's done. Yeah, cool, no problem. Let's fucking get after it. He's Australian, he's cool as fuck. He's like, let's fucking send it. Every time we speak, there's a message saying, let's fucking send it. And I'm like, perfect. This is the type of attitude you need. Even though you're coming from 35% body fat, and however you got there is, personal to you, and it's happened, and it is what it is, and like, there's no, I'm not going to benefit from sitting here going, you fucking motherfucker got 35%, like, it's just done now, it's done, isn't it, alright? So, the way we just must approach it, that it's not too much work. Whatever needs to be done, it just needs to be done. It's not a problem, it's not, I'm dieting, it's not, I'm hungry, I'm going to get to the gym, steps, it's just, this is the tax you need to pay to get to the physique that you want to get to. It just shouldn't be any work or a problem. When you have that attitude, nothing's too much work, nothing's a problem, you'll do everything with a smile on your face. I'm busy day of work today. I fucking love doing it. It's not a problem and it's not too much work. And I'm just mauling through the work with an absolute smile on my face, because this is what you want to do. You want to get yourself in bed with the process and know you're going in the right direction. It helps, obviously, in his situation. He's got someone to keep him accountable. He's got someone to steer the ship for him. All he has to do is turn up with a good attitude and he's going to get the result. So you need to have that mindset. Nothing is too much work. Nothing is a problem. if you haven't got time, it's because you've not made time. It's as simple as that. Like, as harsh as this is, unfortunately, we've all got 24 hours in a day. If you're so fucking busy, you're gonna have to cut some things out. And I'll draw the graph again. But if this is how you're trying to approach things, the barrier to success is up here, and you're doing this: work, fitness, tennis, squash, Pizza Hut, fucking social, travel, and you're spreading yourself thin, you're going to get to level 1 in everything, but you're going to be nowhere near the goal you need to get to. If you go all in on fitness, you're going to get to past the goal, and maybe you go all in on work as well, and then everything else is on the minimum effective dose, just so it doesn't regress. If you want to get in good shape, right, this is what's going to happen. So you're going to have to look at what things you can be like, that doesn't align with my goal, that doesn't align with my goal, that doesn't align with my goal, that kind of does, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it on the minimum effective dose because I actually don't want it to regress, because actually the thing is important to me. So it's going to go on the minimum effective dose, then I can go all in, and I can surpass and get to the point I need to do. So as harsh as it is, look at what things you're doing within a given day. Does it serve you or does it not serve you? Does it serve you? Does it not? And cut out the things and maybe the people that aren't serving you. Make time for the goal. If you don't make time, it will never fucking happen. I can tell you that. I can sit here through the camera and tell you the tactics, what we did, what he's doing to do well. If you don't make time, it's irrelevant. This is just a nice to know. So that's the first thing. Nothing was too much work. The next thing was he's very transparent. Anytime there's an issue, he will let me know. Anytime he needs to travel for work, he needs to eat out, he's got a birthday coming up, because he's still living life, right? Still a human being, still got social events that are you would not get away with not attending them. Still got work commitments that need to be done. Still got his birthday coming up. All these things have to happen, but if you're not transparent and you hide it, and then you come to me the week after going, well, this happened, it's too late at that point. We're now undoing the downfalls of last week, rather than, in fact, I'll also contradict myself, you can be proactive in the sense of, what have we got coming up at the weekend? Right, this is how we're going to work back from it to get and stay on plan. But ultimately, on a normal week, you're going to assess, this is what we did, this is the result we got, brilliant. Let's make or not make changes to the plan. In the event you've got something coming up, you want to be transparent. Be like, I've got this coming up. What can we do? Okay, here we go. Pull from the menu here, pull from the menu here. Don't eat this, plug and play, and you go from there. There is a solution to every issue, but if you're not transparent about it, you're just not going to be able to get to the goal. With yourself, I guess it's a case of transparency, yes, but more you need to forward think. So if him being transparent is him forward thinking and letting me know, you would just forward think and let yourself know that, okay, I've got this coming up the weekend, this is how I'm going to approach it, this is how I'm going to make myself stay on target, stay on plan, and then I'm going to get to the goal. So what he's doing well is nothing is an issue, and he's very clear about everything that's going on in life. With those two things, we can work, because everything's clear. I know where we stand at this point. He's telling me everything, and then he's also got a good attitude that if I tell him to do something, he will get it done. Those two things, do that. This is the result you can get within 12-week period, and you can peel away at the body fat. So, quick video. Hopefully you found it useful. If you did, subscribe. If you want to work with me, then book a call, and we'll take it from there.